Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of the Worthy intel. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing you a 100k Nightfall glitch. This can be done solo or very easily in a group. If you're like me, you've probably been out there trying to farm up as much power as possible because, as most of you know, Trials is back in the game, and starting this week, the artifact was disabled. So you're going to probably want to take advantage of every single Tier 1, Tier 2 powerful and pinnacle drop currently available in the game. And the 100k Nightfall, though it tends to get skipped by most players, is a great source for this each week. So if you're looking to farm up power quickly and efficiently, this is going to be something you're always going to want to take advantage of. So I'm going to get to all the information on how to do this particular Nightfall this week in just 1 second, but first I just want to remind everybody, still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel at 20,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell, right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box below. And as always, guys, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, guys, these secret hashtags stack between all videos, so if you haven't done it on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, guys, so for this week's Nightfall, the ordeal, of course, is Exodus Crash. This can be kind of a pain, if you ask me, as far as Nightfalls go. Never been my favorite strike. Mostly because there are sections of this particular strike that don't actually give you anything as regard to points are concerned. They're just areas that you have to move through, and the enemies there can still kill you, can still slow you up, but it doesn't really pay you anything to actually do away with them. You don't get anything from them, but they're just kind of there as roadblocks. Sort of a difficult strike altogether. And because it is a ordeal Nightfall, and you're going to need to do this at 1,000 power, I couldn't do it any lower than that. You just won't get enough points. So at 1,000, that's going to be sort of the spot that you're going to want to move to. It's the sweet spot as far as time and points that you'll get from the power. So if you are doing this solo, it will be a little bit more difficult because, well, you're going to need to be at least, I would say, 1,010 power to even attempt to do this solo. Probably a little bit higher, but it is possible. So it is another pinnacle drop, and pinnacles always come in handy regardless of how high you are on the power scale with or without the artifact. But with 3 people, this will be fairly easy. If you're like me, you're probably hovering somewhere around 995 power to about 1,005 power. No, I almost said 500, but 1,005 power. So in that range, we were doing it with 3 people. In this case, one of whom we didn't even know. Shout out to my buddy Sinister, because he really helps me out, and he recorded all the footage that you're looking at in this video. I was doing it with him, of course, but he also just recorded it in the background, and I thought his footage just looked a lot cleaner. And sometimes people say that my video quality is a little bit lower than they would like, so I just wanted to use his footage today. And again, a big shout out to him. I wish he was more into social media. I keep telling him to get a YouTube channel because he's really great at helping me out. Big shout out to the Iron Lords podcast, the gaming community, which I am thrilled to be a part of. They do a lot of great content across the spectrum of gaming and Destiny, of course. Also a big shout out to my buddy Ebontis, because he does the podcast with the Iron Lords, and with my buddy Cognito, who's one of the leaders of the Iron Lords podcast, every Friday. So check out their YouTube channel, check out the podcast, and again, big shout out to my buddy Sinister for helping me with this video. So a couple of things you're going to want to bring with you if you are attempting this either solo or with 3 people. One, a couple of warlocks will come in handy. Well of Radiance is going to be a must. You're going to need at least 1 Well of Radiance to get this done properly. So for the first section, you're really just going to want to kill everything as you spawn in, because those do count for points. That big open area where you have to get all the little pillars of light, just wipe out everything in that area. The first part that you're really going to have a sort of challenge in is, of course, the place that you see yourself right here. This is where you actually have to spawn your ghost and let your ghost decode or hack into the server, whatever it is, and you have to stand on the plate. Well, this is a phased area, meaning every so much that you progress, I think it's every 25% that the ghost hacks, you will get another spawn of enemies. If you stay on the plate, you will actually progress through this quicker, but you don't want to. This is going to be your primary kill farm for this week. So essentially, you're going to want to stand on the plate until the new enemies spawn, and then you're going to want to get off the plate. Wipe out all the enemies. You'll continue to progress, but it will be slower, and you'll be able to get all the points in accordance with all the spawned enemies. And you do get, I think, up to 3 or 4 waves. Another thing you're going to really want to bring is arc weapons. The Divinity was what Sinister happened to be rocking here, which was doing big work because obviously it gives a debuff to enemies. So that was helping a lot with the barrier champions and or other, but also it is an arc weapon. And there is a huge glitch going on currently in the game, guys, when it comes to arc weapons, and primarily one artifact mod, the Tyrant's Surge. If you don't know what the Tyrant's Surge is, it is in the last column, so the far right column of your artifact. And the description of this particular mod says, dealing damage with arc, melee, super, or grenades spawn Warmind cells. So these are Warmind cells that will spawn outside of the actual Warmind weapons. However, the glitch is that if you are a Well of Radiance Warlock, so long as you are in a Well of Radiance, which all kills while in a Well of Radiance actually count as super kills, you can shoot any arc weapon and spawn Warmind cells. That's it. It's weird. You don't have to actually punch anybody. You don't have to hit them with a grenade, although those will work. You can just shoot any arc weapon and spawn Warmind cells. So as you can see here, he is using Divinity. He is in the Well of Radiance. He had the mod equipped, and we are spawning Warmind cells like crazy. And these are going to come in really handy, as you could see in this case. They stun certain things. They also just do uber damage and do a lot of AoE damage, so they can help you clear out the mods quicker. Or ads quicker, excuse me. And the big thing in dealing with this particular Nightfall this week is being able to stay alive. It doesn't matter if one of you or two of you go down, but you don't want to wipe. You want to be able to keep the time moving. Take your time killing the ads. Don't worry so much about getting them really, really fast. Just make sure that you're doing it efficiency, clearing out all of them and staying alive. So having 2 Well of Radiance Warlocks to kind of tandem this, as well as having the Tyrant Surge mod to help drop all these Warmind cells, you're going to be able to essentially do a lot of AoE damage and really be able to corral all the ads as they come in and take full advantage of the farm. Once you've kind of cleared out this section, the next section that you're going to only really need to worry about in the slight bit is this section right here, where you're just going to want to traverse through this as fast as possible. Now remember, because this is a 1000 power Nightfall ordeal, even though the enemies might be kind of squishy, the damage that they're going to deal out is not. And you're going to want to move through quickly, because even if you might be a lot higher as far as the enemies in this area, none of which also give you points, keep in mind, you're going to take a lot of damage from them. So just move through as quick as you can and get to this tank as fast as possible. The tank is really the only thing you actually have to take out in this area. I personally think that this tank should count for points, because it is sort of an essential thing to actually have to take out before you can move into the next phase of this Nightfall ordeal. But just get here as quick as possible and nuke it as fast as you can. Use the Tyrant's Surge mod. That will help quite a bit as far as getting that tank a little bit extra AoE damage. Now, once we get into the boss room, which is really going to be the next area that you're going to need to farm out as far as ads and points are concerned, you're hopefully going to be in the 15 to maybe 16-minute range. Now, after 20 minutes is in this particular level at 1000 is where you're really going to start to lose points. So if you're in the 15 to 16-minute range, you are looking pretty good because you have 4 minutes to essentially farm out adds in the final boss room and get close to that 100k score. Keep in mind also that you will get 2000 points for the actual boss kill. I tend to line up on this side of the map. This is the left side of the room as you enter the actual boss room, because there is a little box that you can actually jump on in the back that keeps you off the ground so you don't take the stun from the lightning effect that sometimes takes place on the ground caused by the boss. And the adds actually can't really hit you there, including the boss. Melee hit you, as a matter of fact. So you can kind of keep off the ground. If you have 2 Well of Radiance Warlocks, this will only amplify the ability to take cover in this particular area. But essentially what you want to do is clear out all the adds as they come in before you actually attack the boss. Clear out all the adds, get all the points from them, and then phase the boss until a new group of adds spawn. You'll know that his damage, well, the potential damage phase that you want to continue within is done when the new adds spawn. So only damage the boss when there are no adds on the field. As soon as he comes in, go for the adds. Get all those points. And as you can see here, we were already over 100,000 and we were only at 17 minutes. So at that point, I just said, let's just take out the boss. You'll find that once you kind of clear out the first 3 phases, you'll probably be at around 17 minutes. If you're going slow, we were going pretty fast. We kind of had this whole thing practiced. But at about 17 minutes, you should be close to 100k. You'd probably be in the 3rd wave of the boss. But just know that you can do more or less damage to the boss and get more or less phases per phase. So if you only do the minimal amount of damage to the boss, you will get more adds total. So if you need to farm up a little bit more, you can take full advantage of that. If you're getting closer to 100,000, you can obviously do more damage to the boss in an individual phase, pay less attention to the adds, and wipe it out that much quicker and finish. So again, take full advantage of the Tyrant's Surge because it really does great when handling AoE, and of course, just having that extra little nuke on the field that you can take full advantage of really helps out when it comes to just stacking up points quickly. It's great to be able to just kill several enemies at once rather than having to individually melt them down. So it can allow you to stack points as fast as possible. Keep that in mind if you're doing it solo or with a group. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you found this helpful and the information needed if you're looking for that 100k score. You're going to want to do it. It's a great pinnacle reward every single week, and as well as you get a whole bunch of different types of drops just from doing this. You'll definitely get at least 1 tier 1. You might get a Prime Engram, at least 1 per run, as well as all the Nightfall gear that you get from just farming out the Nightfall, the stuff that is guaranteed, like Masterwork Cores and Enhancement Prisms and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great thing to farm out. For today's secret hashtag, because, well, I told you we would do one, and because we are at the end of the video, leave the hashtag Exodus Crash down in the comment section, or Season of the Worthy, or Trials of Osiris, because those things are always going to be going on. They're always going to be sort of in the hemisphere of things that we're thinking about in Destiny, and things that we're always going to be sort of, I'm sure, farming for to a certain extent. I'm personally enjoying Season of the Worthy, so that's always going to be a hashtag. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. One more big shout out to my buddy Sinister for supplying me with this footage and giving me a hand on this Nightfall run. And as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you in the next video. Little